So this morning we're going to be talking about exploring the dynamic collaborations between Ghanaian musicians. A look at the local music scene. Now, ever since this issue of Sarkodie and Samini burst onto the market, you've seen how many people have reacted, to Sarkodie's, stance when it comes to his attitude towards collaborations. But that is not the focus of the conversation alone. We are looking at collaborations within our local artists. Maybe if I throw in a little bit of controversy, in the past couple of months or years, you've seen only certain type of artists come together to do their music. Maybe it's off the back of relationships, they have among themselves. But does the business come at play as well? If business were working, then I'm very sure you'll be having certain kinds of artists do collaborations, or you see certain grade or level of artists mixing up with other artists from different grades or eras doing collaborations, all in the interest of promoting what we have or creating a louder roar. But unfortunately, it looks like it's a Tema thing, or it's a DC thing, or it's a Spintex thing, or it's a Kumasi thing, or it's a North thing,
It's a Nima thing.
Or it's a what?
Nima
thing. Yeah, it's a Nima thing. But you don't see, a lot of cross working relationships, within the artists. Is it an ego issue, or is it a business issue, or is it a flaw or a break in relationships? Well, we want to understand that this morning on the show. When Sark's issue came up with Samini, Adam also tweeted, I'm reading the tweet out there. It says, I was telling my guy, let's put the tweet on screens now. It says that we tried calling Adam, we're trying to reach him though for a quick conversation around this. He said, I was telling my guy that the day I would post screenshots from 2011. All right, let me see how long I have known Adam. I've known Adam from 2001 or 2002, thereabouts.
You know him before I know him.
Yeah, I started recording him.
Oh,
KG and PM brought him.
Ancestor.
Yeah. Brought
Grandpa.
his group to me, and we became best of friends.
Oh, his group?
Yeah, they used to
Adam
be a
was
group.
in a group?
Yeah, Adam was in a group. Sorry, I was trying to. Yes, I'm going to read Adam's tweet now, though. But they used to be in a group. There were three: Adam, Paradise, and I've forgotten the guys. The last person.
Who's Paradise? Still
Yeah.
a musician?
Yeah, one of the teammates was Paradise.
But I'm asking if that Paradise is still a musician.
Yes.
And he's
No, I
rebranded.
don't know. No, he's not.
Because I've never heard
They
of
faded
Paradise.
out, yeah. Hammer picked Adam out when eventually took them to him.
Oh.
Yes, and worked on Adam because, he, Hammer and his choices. But anyway, Adam tweets back on the screen now. He says that I was telling my guy that the day I would post screenshots from 2011 till date on how people sound via text when they need you, versus how they sound on radio, Ghana go explode. Now, hold it right there. He make references to they and not him or her. So he's probably talking about a select group of people that he's dealt with. So let's not limit our conversations to Sarkodie, please.
I even thought that he might, in my extreme thinking, because Adam has already opened up about Sarkodie.
Yeah.
So I thought that maybe rather he was talking about Samini. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, that would be
because if he's already
Has Adam
spoken
done
about
anything with Samini? Clearly what we are talking about this morning. Never, right?
You know that there's been conversations about how Adam had worked with Kaki in the past, written some of the songs for Kaki in the past, and that's a high grade Jam Master J. Those people used to be like a family. So I was thinking through. I'm like, are you sure this was for Sarkodie? I don't think it is for Sarkodie, because he's already talked about Sarkodie in the past. And I'm feeling like maybe there's a Samini blue tick somewhere too, that he's feeling like you did it to me. Why are you talking about somebody? I'm just in my extreme thinking. That's what I thought.
He says, I was telling my guy that day that I will post screenshots from 2011 till date on how people sound via text when they need you versus how they sound on radio. Says Ghana go explode. But hold on, right, before I continue, Adam was on Sarkodie's opening of his Rapaholic.
Yeah, the last.
So when I saw Adam there that day on stage, with the videos I saw, I was asking myself, okay, did Adam just honor a sax.
Or maybe
so
piece.
They've moved beyond that. Yeah, they've moved beyond that.
How did you feel when you saw a Stonebwoy on that stage? So I'm sure conversations have gone on behind closed
with
because
Stonebwoy, it started merging from Boulare's engagements with the French High Commissioner and the gig they went to play and all that. I saw the merger coming in, and I was just speaking on ground of a consumer watching online what's happened. They may have spoken before that, but when business came, when money came, glue was tighter.
What about even Stonebwoy at Tiny on a Stonebwoy stage?
Yeah, that's another one. We're going to come to all that. So it goes on to say, I pray I don't have a crazy episode for that to happen to the boys and girls. And that's Adam's tweets. As at the time we screenshot it, had clearly about 170,000 people who have viewed it on Twitter. Now, let's go to Eno Baroni, who also didn't keep quiet. Now, it looks like the artists have got some things to vent, but it's been on their chest for a while, or on their breast, if you ask me, for a while, and wanted to get it off and offload it. So, Eno Baroni also, with that tweet, says that always record a full song, even if you wish to collaborate with another artist. That is like the first advice that hits me hard. She says, always record a full song, even if you wish to collaborate with another artist. When they refuse to do it, you drop it solo. That is a big advice there. And collaboration is good because together we shine brighter, like what I was saying. But a star don't need light from another star to be seen. These are bars. I don't know whether it's just a rap line of a song that she just took out and put there at the right time coincidentally, or it came off the issues that have been circulating in the industry. Now, Ghanaians, let's bring your mind to this, that you hardly, like we're saying, you hardly see collaborations among different grades and levels of Ghanaian artists in this country. Now, you might argue it out and say that, yes, but we saw this person doing that with that, or that person doing that with that, or we don't expect them to collaborate amongst, every song should be a collaboration. But Eno Baroni said it. She said that collaboration is good because together we shine brighter. And you can imagine the forces that will be at play, the creativity that will be at play when certain artists put away ego, look at the business, and do beautiful music together. And I'll tell you what, imagine you have this guy who works with Adoma, his name is, he's a producer, he works with Manifest as well.
Producer.
Reynolds.
Yes, Reynolds the gentleman.
Reynolds the gentleman, yeah.
Crazy musician. Imagine if you have a Reynolds the gentleman deciding to sit with a Samini to produce music. Imagine if you have an Adoma, for example, when you talk about the alter artist, crazy singing. You put an Adoma together with I want a lyricist. Crazy lyricist.
Could you trip?
Amrado.
When you say like, are you talking about commercially? Like,
well,
those who are out
music.
there and those who are like
You
hidden,
see,
sort of?
you
Is
see
that what you're
the
talking about?
conversation you're having?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of the problem.
It is the problem.
That some are commercial and
What
some
is
are
out
not.
there and what is blah, blah.
No, but that's
get
the
what you're
reality.
saying,
Even though it's a problem, that's the reality.
And I'm saying that the reality
Is a problem.
must not be a problem.
Okay.
Right? The reality must be progressive. And part of the reason why we have problems in collaborating is because there's scarcity of resources. There's not enough opportunity. They are not paying enough people enough. So everybody is fighting for the same resources, the same spotlight, the same attention, right? That's why you have the likes of Serial featured J. Foley. But J. Foley no go post the song.
Because right? If you guys say Serial no be big shots.
Either that or me we are go promote them. Like he come collect all the
shine.
glory.
We've heard artists be mourned that a lot.
I mean, look, I've been in studio with people, I've collaborated with people. I know that's how it is. Even when you do a rap song with somebody, everybody pretends like, hey, the song debut, but everybody's measuring whose verse was the hardest. Because when it hits the social media, when it hits the airwaves, that's what they're going to talk about. They're going to say, hey, Jeffoli only the track debut, but Jeffoli miamo. Nobody wants to have that conversation. And trust me, your favorite artist is thinking about that in the back of their head. So you look for collaborations where the people are either mature enough to focus on the art or they are not threatened enough by each other's capabilities that they are progressive. But to think we can have it all is very hard. Like it's difficult to see a Jay-Z Lil Wayne song, right? Name me one. They have one or two scattered there, but it's difficult to see a Jay-Z Lil Wayne.
Ever since Fiesta with Jay-Z and R. Kelly, for example, that was it. I mean, their feud came in and then boom, that was it. But you can imagine how much good music the two would have just done if they had worked together, depriving us consumers of something to enjoy.
But
Eno said it in her post, right? Let's put the egos and blah 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 aside and work on the music.
But with what you're saying, mostly the problem is not even, for me, it's not from the artists themselves, because they're not the ones rating who did well and who didn't perform on a track. It's the fans who always generate that conversation.
Miss G, they know.
They know, and they like it.
They know.
Because I don't think if Olele or maybe use J Foley or Cyril were an artist and you say you put me on, where you say I murder you or you murder me, why would we put it out?
It would be hard for me to tweet that song.
That kind of thing. But I feel like when they put it out, maybe they feel like, oh, this is a collective work. When they do put it out, it's their fans who come and do, oh, this guy murder this person, or the anti-fans who would always find fault with maybe the success of somebody who is not in their camp. I think that thing is normally from, I don't think the artist would deliberately go out of his way and say, Charlie, I made that Olile. Because I put you on or you put me on. That means that I know that there's some synergy. And, I like the way Amrado handled the issue concerning the collaboration he had with Black Sheriff.
Right.
He says, well, he felt that he had something, that's why he put him on. So if people felt like he drowned him in the song, that's okay.
Even Sag alluded to the same thing for Countryside. He said Black Sheriff is the hottest artist. He didn't have to think twice when Black Sheriff called him to do a record. And I think that's where, for me, my respect for Sag went, up, because he understands the business. He understands the fact that it's no longer about an ego situation. It's about finding the right fit.
Yeah, because I tell you that I went on Apple Music, and then on that Amrado,
you said it was
on that Amrado
Black Sheriff's name that was there.
Yeah, Black Sheriff. Verse. Yeah, they actually have a song. Also, they actually have one edited with just a loop of the
Abuja.
Yes, wow. I was surprised.
On Apple Music?
Yes, on Apple Music. Like, I'm just going to go back there, and I was listening, and I was waiting for Amrado's rap, and I was like, why? Which version am I playing?
Someone created an Apple Music account.
It's here, like Abuja featuring. Let me see if.
Maybe it was just a preview. Maybe sometimes it could be a preview.
No, this is
a full song.
Yes,
just a loop of that.
Yes, this is it. I mean, I'm playing it on TV for you to see. It's a loop. I've been forwarding it all through. That's it.
Hey.
That's it. I don't know if you see that. You can see on the screen.
Yeah. You might see the artist behind it.
It's on Amrado's. Well, it just says Abutre. Well, anyway, you can check it out.
Let me see. I want to see who uploaded.
That is. I don't know how it got there.
And you can imagine how the other party might feel. If
you hear it.
Charlie, 2 minutes 36 seconds of just Blackos.
Fans are also part.
Yes.
Of the phenomenon, right?
Hey.
Why are you yawning this morning?
I don't want to call it a problem, but the fans are also part of the situation, because they turn everything into a competition, right? And as a celebrity or an artist with a fan base or whatever, you are always reactive to how your fan perceives your content. So if Olele features J Foley, and all Olele fans come online, and their job is to forget that there's a beautiful collaboration. And they're focusing on how Olele performed as opposed to how you performed. And they turn the song into an analysis. Who is better competition? Instead of, hey, look at this great song. Then that's where people's egos and certain behaviors jump in. So tomorrow, when you get a feature request, you're thinking about it, right? You're thinking too much about it. You don't invest in the song and the collaboration of it. You're trying to. It's just human nature. You're trying to protect your brand and your interest. Why do we have J? Look, this song Forever. It may not mean nothing. Drake, Lil Wayne, Kanye, Eminem, powerhouses. every one of their. If you go on the YouTube comment section or social media, every one of their fans came there and said, Lil Wayne did his thing. Shout outs to all the other guys. Drake was dope. This person was dope. Blah, 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 blah. Case closed. Not one comment in there like, they sound, we day inside. See, you cannot, listen, you cannot talking about the product.
If you take that part out of the conversation to the B.
Bro,
I also thought about that. The
conversation,
the excitement that comes with
we started the show this morning with something that not everything is a competition. Yeah. Life is not a competition. We have made every aspect of our creative arts competitive, right? And the fans are the biggest drivers of that competition. The people who are in the industry know how each other are living. You understand? An Edem knows how Sack is living. A Sack knows how Shatta is living. A Shatta knows how Stoneboy is living. We all did the industry. We know what the dynamics are. We know what it takes to really put out a song, promo it, get a good video, travel, do promo. Everybody in the industry knows the corners we are cutting, the sacrifices we are putting in place to get things done. The only person who doesn't know is the fan. Because the fan is sold on a star mindset, right? So he thinks that, okay, Olele and Foley, let me turn it into a joke session. And Foley did this, and Foley did that, and Foley did that, and Olele shine, this, the blah, blah, blah. So they miss the big picture of these are two celebrities, talents. One could be on 9/10, and the other could be 1/10. And found they have collaborated. Let's push the collaboration, the song, and make it more tolerable for our celebrities to come together and work.
So let me okay, please finish.
I just wanted to say that the record you played was actually from Thug Mansion 01 DJ mix.
Somebody did it.
So it's a mix. It's a DJ mix uploaded on Apple Music, and I think he just gave.
He's a wicked guy.
So basically,
I hope people are being paid.
Well, I mean, if it's on Apple Music, definitely, I'm sure he's getting his part of the.
Well, Amrado and Black Chef, I've told you, I've shoot. I'll shoot the person's name, so we can please cut this video. Let me say good morning to Godwin as well, who's doing the watching right about now. Godwin, thank you very much. Now, let's. I listed a few things that I want us to look at. The things that are probably causing this issue on collaborations and possibly why we don't get that much from our local artists. Let's look on tribal lines. Let's look on geographical location, which shouldn't have been a problem. Yes, at all. Let's look at business. The business, if the right tools are in place for both artists to be able to benefit, easily. And then let's look at the education of the importance of collaboration, if it has gone down well with our musicians. So these are the areas I want us to look at. Let's start off with tribal lines. Is there anything around tribes that we've seen? And I want us to be very blunt and say that as it is. If there's nothing, we can wash it off. And then when I mentioned tribes, the reason why I brought it up was because of its mergers with geographical location. And this is a growing concern with the whole Kumasi, Accra.
Somebody was going off on Twitter about Gan being a Gan, and
that was
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Yeah. He mentioned
he was talking about support. He was talking about the fact
that it's same thing. The collaboration. I be media to collaborate.
A DJ helping me or a media house helping me is collaboration. So.
Okay, I mean, if you're looking at that way, then it's fine. Yes.
I wonder,
but I don't think that that's a true reflection of what happens in the industry.
I've never heard.
I have never heard. Like it sounds to me almost like Oyagama Shipono, and you are saying O promoti Gani, alo Ganyo. That kind of thing.
But Michi, I think I understand.
So what is the reason on the? You see.
No, I'm just narrowing this to just the Jupiter issue before. I'm just narrowing it because he brought the example of Jupiter, and I said that Jupiter situation doesn't hold for me because there's no way anybody who is on the land of the Gans would deliberately say, you are working on my land. It's like, this is my home, and you say...
What was his tweet about?
He says, we don't support
he was talking about
Gans.
He deleted it, but he was talking about the fact that if you are not a Gan like Kim Promise, Shatawale, or DKB, you're not getting any support from the mainstream media. But unfortunately, the names he mentioned actually get support.
That's what I'm saying, that is not even true.
Yeah,
so if the people who don't even... And that's what I'm just saying, that the people who even don't belong here are getting support, then why would you say the ones who own this place are not getting support? And you see, the support is because it's your own people. If you get it, I don't know how to explain it. If you go to Gamashi, it is the Gans who are there, Who are the consumers of the products there? The Ghans. There are typical Ghan places that even there, look at Nifani. If Nifani holds a concert in that Gamashi area, Labadi, Teshi, Nungwa, look at the people who show up for him. Recently, we were talking about how tiny, used to be a big deal, and I said that even those of us who live in Teshi
and Nungwa, vice versa. That Jupiter's tweet was that I was understanding the other way around. Let me check
that
if you are a Ghan,
he's deleted it.
Rather, you don't get support. I thought
that's what I'm saying. That's what he said.
If you are a Ghan, you don't get support.
Yes,
I saw the tweet.
That's what he said.
It's not deleted.
He said they don't support
if you are not a Ghan.
Said what?
Did he mean that if you are not a Ghan,
he said if you are a Ghan,
you don't get support?
You don't get support.
Okay.
Yes.
No, listen. You see, I don't want to spark any tribal wars.
The tribal thing is bad because the Evers will also come. The Northerners will come.
That's what I was going to come
say,
to.
No,
that's what I was going to
that.
Because if it comes to this whole tribalistic conversation in terms of collaboration,
it's true.
I mean,
it's not
if you
true.
take out, I'm coming.
The Ghans,
I'm coming.
No, but he was specific to the Ghan. I said the Evers will come, the Northerners will come.
Yes, that's why it's true.
But not Ghans, not he specifically.
His tweet is here. The tweet is here.
What did he say?
He said.
Can you share it in the group as well so that they can?
It is in the group. It's actually in the group. It's in the group already.
Okay.
January 20th. This must stop. Time they stop treating Ghans like we are not Ghanaians. It's enough. So he's complaining about Ghans not getting any love.
Which is not true.
That's one part of the tweet.
And DKB came back and said, "Oh, Anyemi, the tribal agenda and caucus, we know them. We won't stop fighting. Ghans will rise." Okay.
That was the first part of the tweet. That was after.
I'm on here.
So you see,
DKB, I cannot read DKB's tweet on here.
I understand where Miji is going,
okay.
But I also understand what J. Foley is trying to do because even though he had just focused or directed at guns, the truth is
there's a tribal
situation that we have not had a conversation about because apart from a Kamido,
it's in politics.
Apart from a Kamido or Edem who would come out from that place and become a big star, where they get these collaborations. There is a guy in the Volta region known as the Books, and
then Chief One.
I was just about to say,
how many times or how many opportunities will they have, if not for lobbying, to get a song with a mainstream act?
Same is there a guy in the north?
There's a guy in the north.
Same is there a guy in the
apart from Samini, who I would say, okay, he represents the north. Right.
And how many songs that he's singing?
Yeah. He's working on an album that is going to do that.
Now.
After gaining recognition.
Apart from Kinayi Soba, who we know has represented the North, Biala, who has represented the North. How many commercially viable artists? Fancy Gadam, okay. And then who else can we think of? Even Fancy Gadam had to come into the south side to make a song with South Korea.
And I'm saying that there's also another guy in BA.
That's what I'm saying.
Who is struggling? So the thing cuts across.
It is there.
Hello.
So you can't single out.
I feel that I have to be careful in saying this. And this is for conversational purposes.
Okay.
I feel like the biggest beneficiaries of attention when it comes to music probably comes from
the Akans.
Yes.
The south side.
Can I say something?
Please, they say something. Say anything.
As people.
Yes.
Forget about music.
I'm going to talk about glasses.
No. It's nice.
Neddy.
Fresh and cutie, you already know.
Your wages are cutie.
Charlie, please, are we not tribalistic?
As a people?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so how do to translate everywhere?
Yes, that's
They're tribalistic from church, politics, life, work, hospital, everywhere. So, I mean, look, it's I don't think we can discuss tribalism with the music at all. I don't even think we should because we know it's a can of worms. Even in the society we are at large, right? And if we take it into the music, it's going to be very messy. It's going to be very messy. Well, all I'll say is that those who have been able to own their culture and actively market where they know it will resonate without that resistance and all the drama around it, big ups to them. Edem moving into the Volta region, Edem first, doing a lot of stuff there, all that. It's conscious, it's strategy.
Right.
You cannot go and be singing French in Russia.
No,
you understand? It's not about being tribal. Sometimes
it's not strategy. It is. If I'm being blunt, if I'm being blunt, I may be wrong. Edem, he's my brother, so I'm cool with it. But I think that it's him going to where he feels accepted.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not strategy.
Yes,
it's
Jay.
He knows that. Let me put it out. Let me put it out to you. You watching. Would you? And I'm being very honest. if Edem were doing an Edem Fest in Accra, would you go?
No, they will show up. Say if he was doing it in...
Unless
I'm not
it
talking
was
100 tickets buying to fill...
Unless the featuring acts had enough of a mix, right, to overshadow the tribal factor. Did you hear me well? Your question is perfect. It's a perfect test you are putting out there. And I'm saying people would only come in their numbers if there were enough Sarkodiyas and Saminis and Stoneboys.
That tilts the conversation to
enough accoutrements
around that. Sometimes they don't come for the artists.
Then that one. But like you're saying, if he was solely doing it, like how he does it, like maybe just one or two other people supporting him in the Volta region.
Like Samini.
Same way for Fancy.
Oh,
when Fancy
has a track record of filling the National Theatre. He's even moving.
That conversation we have to have it separately.
I'm thinking, maybe we have to have it separately because
the things they put in place to make it happen was, it was so much work, that to repeat that work is almost impossible. Understand? It's almost impossible.
But the issue about tribalism, I just wanted to touch on a bit, that I don't think, and he used one word, he said that for those who have done it and have marketed it well, now people, once you market it well, people would definitely fall in love with it without even knowing what it means. And that's what has happened to a lot of people with Chief One song. If you're not ever, the beat and ga-ga-ga, you just want to know, what is this guy saying? And the more he's in your face, the more you are accepting. We don't hear a lot of the things that King Ayisoba said.
But we are not accepting him.
No, I'm saying, no, wait. I'm coming to the collaboration bit of it. Okay. So once you market it well, the people who are doing the most accepted languages, who also want to get into that your small market, will now come for you. A typical example is Ebisa Keida, who is a huge name. Why is he putting Kamido on to sing Eve? You would think that...
No, I don't think he asked Kamido to sing Ever. No, I'm sure Kamido decided
Kamido has been singing Ever since he emerged.
Yeah. No, I think Bisa wanted the brand Kamido, not his language.
But so he could have said...
I can speak on it.
Okay. I'm just using examples that we can relate to. Now, let's talk about even Tiny. Why would anybody put Tiny on a song and he still sings in Ghana? Because he has that Ghana market that even you and a Akan singer wants some attention in there. Let's not deny the fact that there are people in, say, let me talk about my region because they know I'm one of them. There are people in the Volta region who accept Edem, Akan, Edem Northerner feature because it's an Edem. They love Edem. But now whoever collaborates with them, they are consuming because they love Edem. I don't know if you get it. So
it is acted like Nigerians and have dominated.
Well, maybe because their language, it is the first native language or widely spoken language. So you can't fault them for that. If you are in Accra, even though it's a Ghana,
but it is eaten into. So that's what I'm saying. It's eaten into the musicians. Hence the discussion
we're having. It is not eaten into the musician. It is the musician's prerogative to decide who or where I want to go with my crafts.
Straight.
That is what I think. It is not about any tribe thing. If you sing Akan and I sing Akan, and I feel like if we do the collaboration, it is not going to go to a market that...
How many artists have you heard feature Ghana artists?
Guys.
How many Ghana artists do we have?
Oh, we have a lot of them.
Mention them.
Jupiter is a
Does he sing in Ghana?
No, hold on. Tiny, Screwface, Nifani, this guy, Gasmila. They are Ghana artists.
How many of these people you've mentioned sing in Ghana? Gasmila, Nifani.
How many? They sing in Ghana. How many times
these are the ones I know who sing in Ghana. Jupiter doesn't sing in Ghana.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about their production.
Then we'll say. Then we the Evers will say that almost all your big artists are Evers. How many of them sing in Ever?
No, I'm saying something.
Nivi is Ever. Edem is Ever. EL is Ever. Stoneboy is Ever. We have all the artists. How many of them sing in
I'm speaking for you. Relax. I'm saying that.
Okay, speak.
I'm saying that I'm not talking about the person's tribe. I'm talking about the product they put out.
Exactly, and I said the names you mentioned, some of them don't sing in that language. Jupiter never sings in Ghana.
No, he just mentioned as a joke. We were not taking it serious.
Because you have only Nifani and Gasmila, who I know.
You set the table where you left.
I saw that you are eating well.
So I'm saying is that put Jupiter aside. He doesn't sing in Ghana. So it's off the table. I mentioned names. I said Nifani.
Guys, you are looking at the back of the dress.
No, hold on. I said Gasmila.
You said the table on the back of the dress.
That's what I'm telling you, that you are eating the tablecloth.
I'm coming. Hold on.
You are eating the tablecloth. Let me show you where the food
I don't want. No, hold on. I was saying this. I beg you, please. Let me finish my point.
Soldier.
I'm just saying.
Finish. Soldier.
He's setting you up.
The day outside.
So I'm saying that. No, which I'm saying that. Forget Jupiter. I'm talking about artists who sing in Ghana, and I mentioned Nifani, Gasmila, and
and
the
who?
like.
And Tiny.
No, Tiny.
And who?
Foley.
Screwface.
Foley and Co. You are making a big mistake.
Hold on. Oh, I'm coming. Let me finish it. If you cut it halfway, it won't make sense.
Okay,
so
jet fuel the cost.
Let me come.
Turbulence.
Bro, let me come. Let me come.
Shake.
Let me spill.
Okay.
Let me spill my thoughts.
Okay.
And let's go.
Let me spill my thoughts. Let me put it all out.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
I did gone.
All right. No, focus. So I'm just saying that these Ghana artists, how many times you hear these set of names I've mentioned get to do collaborations or open up to do collaborations with certain other artists, even Evers or Northness. Take off your mind their levels and their weights and their influence. I'm just talking about the fact that I just want to hear maybe a Ghana artist, an artist who produces song in Ghana, collaborating with a Tree artist to have the two of them do their thing. We may have had some in the past, but in recent times, the issue is that, and that's why we're discussing this collaboration thing, there is a certain current at the back that is brewing, that tribalism has almost become a problem that we might turn a blind eye to, but it is there, because I feel like associating myself with certain tribes might not give me the
cool factor.
The cool factor I'm
Really?
looking at. It's crazy. It's crazy. You might downplay
Cool
it.
factor.
That's the reason why you easily have a
Miss
Jupiter
G.
put out a tweet like that. Only God knows what he was going through and made him come out to write.
He said he
such a
didn't
thing.
post him when he was here. The thing is, was Summerfest. He went. He was the first Ghanaian to put
Stink.
You didn't post him, but when Someboy was going, everybody's talking about it. That's his.
Well, you see,
but
so-
some people posted him. That's me. That's always my issue with artists.
Yeah, somebody sides with you and said here, I saw the tweet earlier, I was going to read it for you. He says that, Charlie, this one, could you don't pay? He says, Charlie, J. Foley and Cyril, these same people make posts saying they don't need any media support. And when they don't get it too, it becomes a problem.
So what should we do
at
now?
all should we do for them?
Oh.
Guys,
Yeah,
I think like I said, we are looking at the back of the dress here. I don't think the tribal.
But there's Boutros at the back
I
of the
took the whole
dress.
dress off, so I'm now looking for it. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Right. So I was saying that the thought has gone.
When you took the whole dress off, what do you expect?
No, when I took the dress off, what I saw, my brain went error, but my Wi-Fi is back connected. So I was saying that for me, the tribal issue is not even an inter-artist issue or inter-industry issue.
Are you sure?
Sweetie, hear me out.
Hey.
For me, the tribal issue is about your consumer base, right? Who is going to receive this music? And how does the person perceive the tribe of the creator of the song? Do you get what I'm saying? If I feel, if there's an area that feels some kind of way against gas, right? You can bring the biggest gas artist to collaborate with whoever, right? But reception will be a problem because of how people perceive that tribal difference. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
No. In fact, you are being blunt, but in a very nice way.
Yeah.
Yes.
You understand? It's about where the thing is being received. That's why I'm making the point for Edem, right? I will not speak for Edem today on the air. My brother, I can say what I like. We'll fight at home.
Yes.
But I'm not going to do that. But I can tell you from afar that I know that reception for Edem and him doing Ewe started out as a novelty. It was nice. Oh, hey, this guy raps Ewe. Then it was a bit gimmicky. It was out the Ewe rapper, Ewe guy. They can't drop some Ewe bars. It'd be dope. But we never gave Edem that full package as one of our longest lasting, consistently successful artists. We haven't.
Yes.
We have not. Why? I will tell you it's because he is aware and because he raps, makes his music 99.9% predominantly.
No, in fact, now it's about 60. He's mixing English and...
Why would he need to do that?
Yeah.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
But
So
Stone-
if I am an Edem,
Stone
if I am an
equally
Edem,
ever, though.
if I'm an
He's a big
Edem,
artist, so anything he does right
listen,
now, yeah.
if I am an Edem,
much
Are you saying that? So
as
singing in
Listen,
your language.
if
is what
I'm
we're
an
talking
Edem-
about. I just want to declare singing
See,
in
the
their
dress
language.
is going off. I'll forget.
I want to ask you where you're going. You're talking about singing in
I just took the dress off. I'm not going anywhere. What I'm saying is that no, you cannot compare a Stone Boy incorporating
Ewe into a song
to
to
Edem who creates Ewe
That's why I want to be
contemporary
sure what
music.
you're talking
What I
about.
want to
Are you
land on
talking
is
about
hear me out,
Edem
hear me out,
singing in Ewe?
sweetheart. You hear me out. Edem moving to create Edem Fest is something that I'm so happy about. I've told him a million times, right? Because he has gone where the consumer base don't have any bridge to cross. There's no prejudice for them to get over to interact
But
with
it's
his
sad.
craft. It's sad. I want to say it as it is, right? Edem is one of our biggest artists. Edem has been here over a decade. Awards, features, bangers, whatever. He has done it all, right? But are you telling me that Edem can go and do Edem Fest in Kumasi? Which brand or which manager or which sponsor would look at a proposal and say Edem Fest is going to Kumasi and say, yes, I believe it will work. Let me put money inside. Why? Because that tribal issue exists in the consumer. Are you following me? So a fancy Gandam, who Gandam, sorry. no, sorry. Don't confuse the issue. Fancy can do his thing up north, where there is no gap between the perception of the creator and the consumer, where his people receive him wholeheartedly without any prejudice to overcome. You understand? But the moment you move out of that comfort zone or that tribal space, right, there is so much prejudice. We all have it. Let's not sit on air and be like we are making up something. We are from church, politics, work, hospital, wherever. We have it. When you go somewhere and you hear somebody speaking your language, or it's from where you are from, half of your procedure is done in this country. If you need to go into an office
So
and
do
do
we
something,
clearly accept that tribal grounds is also a cause for discollaboration?
yes, it would be, because how would I
So
market
Jupiter
this?
was not wrong.
He's not wrong. How would we market this? How would
not what he's saying, no.
No, I understand Jupiter is
Jay,
media,
if Edem,
but it's
does Edem have a
collaborative.
song? Does Edem have a song with Fancy?
Not that it's public that we know of.
Not that we know. An Edem and Fancy song.
Even if
how
they
would
have,
you
they
market
haven't
it?
put it out.
How would you market? No. How would we market an Edem? And I'm using Edem consistently because that's my brother. I can say that. How would we market an Edem and a Fancy song?
Are we doing collaborations just for collaborations' sake?
No, I'm saying that for growth. Listen, if Fancy has been able to sell out his
Are you
stadium,
doing it for collaboration?
Just for collaboration's sake?
Look at the numbers, please. If Fancy has sold out up north, he can fill up National Theatre. He's won awards. What did he win? The controversial one that you're betting on.
Most popular song.
Popular song, most popular song, blah blah blah. Fancy is a big artist, enough that he has a big enough following that if he and Edem bring their forces together, they should be able to market that song, get their streaming revenue, play shows, and blah blah blah.
The last time you checked streaming from that side, go how many people? I think
Relax.
70 something or
Sweetheart,
something.
you see, the problem is that all the people there, the streaming that we stream, the songs that there's Yoruba, and how many times have we done Starter Pack here and we don't know the lyrics because it's in Nigerian language? But we check the same stat and we tell you that his artist is 4 zillion views, and half of the zillion views is in Accra, even though we don't speak that language. Right? That prejudice doesn't exist when we are talking about Nigerians, when we are talking about South Africans. We do that one, we'll play it, zillion views, zillion streams. But my brother who's from Volta region, or my brother who's from Ashanti region, or my brother who's from the northern region, there's a problem with it. Do you get where I'm going with this? We have an internal prejudice against each other. And that prejudice comes to manifest when it is the fans who have to make the decision. And all our artists in Ghana react to their fans. Let's not pretend that the artists are in control. The artists react to the fans. When your fans start blast you or they start expect something, the artists they could do. We've seen it a million times. So let's not make it look like the artists are setting the trends and the fans are following. This is like having an uncontrollable bulldog in your house. Someday go back at you now and say, Scooby, calm down, here's some sardine. You don't feel like giving a sardine that day, but you don't want to get beaten. So, so that we have to be real when we are saying this.
No, exactly.
You understand? So the fans, for me, are where the biggest problem is. The polarization, the tribalism, the segmentation. We've even now weaponized the fan armies.
Yeah,
Shatters army and Sax army. What are they fighting for? Is it not Ghana music?
Yeah.
People are on Twitter, from everything from your mother to whatever else. For what? Because you are a Shatter fan and I'm a Sax fan, so we can't get along.
So the question I'm trying to ask is, definitely there's a problem. But then they say music is a universal language. So how then are we going to translate that definition into fixing the problem?
If you ask me, I think that we have created unnecessary levels in Ghana
who created
with
it?
tribes.
Who created it? The fans?
And
the
how
artists,
we have it's our fault. Togo didn't do it for us. Neither did Benin. It was us. You know, if Benin did it, then I know.
I still find it difficult to accept that we have a tribal problem with regards to music. I still stand by the point that are we doing, and I ask the question, are we doing collaborations just for collaboration's sake? People are looking at markets where they can, get numbers. It is more of who is listening there. Look, this thing that he said, in the beginning we accepted that Tree is spoken widely. Let's take the dynamics. Fancy has a song with Sack. What is Sack singing? Tree. Did the Northerners accept it? Is it widely spoken? Will they be able to appreciate whatever Sack is saying? Now, Edem has a song with Sack. What is Sack singing? Tree. Have the Voltarians accepted it? Yeah. Edem has a song with Kwakesi. Have the Voltarians accepted it? Yes. Because Tree is what we easily can fall in love with. It is for me where the numbers are. And again, for me, sitting here, if I was an artist, I said that Akans have a huge population. Already there's love for that language. Now, I will cut across as an Ewe artist with my Voltarians. But there's a Northerner who also can speak Tree. So that Tree, if he cannot understand my Ewe, he will fall in love with the Tree that I'm doing with this Tree person who is singing Tree. He might even be another Voltarian, but Did
you realize that all the things you were saying did the other language do with Tree?
Yes, because I'm saying because Tree is widely spoken.
Did Tree do with the other language?
Yes, well, if we agree to collaborate, it's synergy. No. It is you and I collaborating.
You can't list even more than 10 songs that
we have so many big songs that we don't even know. We don't even know the lyrics.
No, hold on. Listen, wait. I said, did Tree do with the other language?
Why not?
All the things you said.
Why not?
All the things you said, Fancy did with Sack.
Didn't we just say a few minutes ago that
Bisakade?
We didn't just say a few minutes ago that Bisakade had Camido on.
Camido does not sing. Camido doesn't. It's not an Ewe rapper that R&B artist.
Camido, listen to the song. Camido is dropping Ewe he has lyrics in there.
No, Camido is like Stonebwoy. They are Ewes by nature, by tribe, but they don't necessarily sing in the language. They come in once in a while.
So again, it goes back to the fact that it is strategy.
So do you realize that?
I get my numbers.
No, so do you realize that?
It's not like I'm coming to do a language test and say, because I want there to be some synergy between Northerners and...
On the back of that,
it is not a tribal issue. It is people's strategy as to how they want to put out their music, knowing where their money will come from, knowing who will support them, knowing who will come for a show, knowing who will pay for the show. I think for me, it's more of a strategic thing than a tribal thing or a language thing. Again, remember Cyril said that the fans would definitely call for it. How many of the Northern fans are calling for a Northern Voltarian collaboration?
You finish. I have one question to just...
How many of these fans are calling for a Ghana Dangbe North collaboration? So people are doing the bidding of one. They themselves to get money. Their fans are involved where they want to get mileage. It is not about your language. Otherwise, we won't have Angelique Kidjo doing songs that we don't understand with a Benner boy who is also singing something that we might not really understand. You understand?
They're not Ghanaians, so we don't care.
Wait. But now, if we hear a Stonebwoy and Angelique Kidjo collaboration, what will we say? She's not Ghanaian, so because of that, he's getting into her market. I think for me, the artists are trying to get into markets where they are unpopular. If you ask me, rather than a language thing, who is consuming music where? Let me tell you today, if a certain tribe, and I don't want to even mention any tribe at this point, if a certain tribe shows to another tribe that they will give him the numbers, that they will support. And there's one artist of theirs who is leading. Who says they won't jump? The guys, they are looking for money. They are not concerned about tribe things. I don't think so.
Okay, let me ask a question now.
Ato Kilson on Twitter says something, I think he says, as much as we would hate to admit it, there's a tribal issue which is systemic and runs through all industries, with music being included. When you go to Nigeria, they have an issue called Yoruba tax, where fans allege Yoruba-speaking artists get the limelight. In the US...
Why are you coughing already?
Oh, yeah, let's cough.
In the US...
They are in Lagos, and Lagos speaks Yoruba.
There's another tweet I'll read after
In
this.
the US, there's that age-long notion that the Jewish people run the music industry. So it's everywhere. Part of the problem is not admiring it to mitigate it.
Okay, so it comes back to the point, a point that I was asking Ms. G, that I gladly accept that collaboration for strategy, but because of tribal lines, certain collaborations don't happen because, yes, it may not make business sense for the artist.
Exactly.
But at the same time, what are we growing? You are building a house. You done 1 story, 2 story, 3
Whose
story.
money am I using to build a house?
7 story, and you're forgetting that fire service host won't get to your 9th story, and you are still going. And you're forgetting what you're also, the problem you're also creating around that. In case of an emergency, how are people going to come down because we have inconstant power supply, your lift and all those, you didn't do fires. That's what is happening. That's what I'm saying. That
except we are calling
so now
for
I'm coming to my
deliberate...
no, please wait. I kept quiet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry, sir.
Fully talk. If she talks again, I'll be just...
Accurate, thank you.
If you talk again, if you talk, you finish. Have you shouted? Bro, I got you. Don't worry. You talk.
I also got Miji. I got Miji.
I know what you did.
You be going on.
If you not talk, I will talk on behalf. If you not talk, I will talk on behalf.
I'm seeing what he's doing.
If you not talk,
if you accidentally slip.
If you not talk, I will talk on behalf.
So what I'm saying is that in as much as we have, and this is the point I wanted to raise and ask you, one of our biggest key artists in Ghana is Sarkodie. One of our biggest Ghana artists is Tiny, you know. And please, no disrespect to, I'm just mentioning.
It's not a comparison.
It's not a comparison. My personal, whatever it is. One of our biggest northern artists, Hausa artists, if I can say, is Fancy Gadam. There's Makasio and all those. One of our biggest Fanti artists, we're talking about Kofi Kinata. Now, all these artists represent various tribes. But how often do you see the key-based big artists, not just that, big artists, moving out to go and do the collaboration with the, I don't think I can even list 10 for me. But yet you see the other vernacular languages doing collaborations with the tree artists. And it is on the grounds of tribe. That is what we are saying, that it has gone beyond business. Sometimes even I feel, and I stand to be corrected, I feel is how we perceive those tribes as not a number, so as a lesser of. Hence the reason why even then I was bringing the next into geographical location, which is a mixture of tribe and location. Why Kumerica got that mad support in the beginning, because a certain area felt that they had been cut off and they don't get the same attention and the interest that when they bring their artists. Look at how difficult it's. Look, and this thing I'm going to say, and let me say it carefully. Carefully. Hey, Jim Passem. When you speak Twi and you speak the Kumasi, proper Kumasi Twi, typical, I lived in Kumasi, I schooled in Kumasi, I know what I'm talking about. When you see them, you see them. You understand? When you speak that Twi and you rap in it, trust me, you will have a certain limited appeal. If you like, I can give you a list of artists that suffered that. When you introduce, you are limited, you are cut off, then you are seen and perceived a certain way. So even within the tree, there's conflict. It's also tribe. But when you speak a certain Accra tree, oh, my sister, it's opened up. So we've gotten to a point where, unfortunately, we're building a certain collaborative business mindset, thing. But unfortunately, we're also creating at the back, we're creating a certain dust that was not settling. and was rubbing in people's eyes, and people are finding all kinds of ways to understand what's happening, because we have just created a big what do you call it? A big problem. So here we are.
Can I talk now?
Oh, you can.
Okay. But just before you come in,
yes.
so are we trying to put this solely on the fans?
No.
Because I don't want to believe that.
No, Cyril mentioned fans.
Yeah,
as a
but
point.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't want to believe and think that the fans actually really drive these collaborations, right?
Because to some extent they
because
do.
we could equally say
some
the
extent, yes.
the fans could also demand certain collaborations. Like when these artists have Q&As, I don't want to go into Sabine Sarko's conversation. Let's just say Sabine and Sarko didn't have a record together before, right? You realize the fans were asking for that kind of collaboration. So the fans also look to promote or look to have some of their artists from their regions collaborate with A-list artists, and I say this advisably, right? So at what point do we say, okay, the fans have to be blamed for this tribalistic situation? At what point do we say the artists themselves have not been intentional enough, right? Why haven't we seen a record from our A-list artists do a song with Rihanna yet? Why haven't we? Maybe someone is doing it, or maybe it's been done. I don't know.
And you can't make the brand conversation when it comes to Rihanna. Rihanna is performing in stadiums internationally.
I get it.
So
Fine.
I'm adding to your point that Miss G was saying that it's about reach. It's not because of language changing. I'll go and feature somebody that I know it won't go far. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that the question you've asked is perfect, because Rihanna is as big as they get. She might not be big on our airwaves in Ghana.
But you say you're talking about Ghana. But you say you're limiting your conversation to Ghana.
She makes music.
You just said you're making. Because
honestly,
the Rihanna example he's giving, it's not holding.
I am just saying that Rihanna is a
what he's trying to
big
say
artist.
is
we don't doubt
So,
that.
for example,
but in Ghana, and Rihanna, pardon me for saying that, in Ghana, she's still even struggling to get
mainstream.
Yes. So how do I? And again, that's why I keep repeating. It's for me. I think is strategic. What numbers will she give me if I go into that zone? Again, let me just quickly answer Jay's question before you came. You see all the things you said. You talked about how everybody is making deliberate efforts, to feature the other side. And what's the population of the Ashantis? How many of them do we have in Accra? So if I am going for business, I'm looking for, the Ashantis are here. If me too amunyuma, they'll give me, I say it's a numbers game. Forget it. If I was on anybody's team. Has it always
been a numbers game, or it's just now become a numbers game?
It's always been.
Okay.
Look at the people who used to rule our music space back then.
The VIPs, the 4X4s, the Tic Tacs.
What were they singing in?
Call me Kankana.
It's book back that made a difference. But even then, they still sang some trees.
Barracks.
So for me, it's like you're saying, the geographical area too matters. So if I can have a huge population that even one song can get me even 10%.
Kumasi is bigger than Accra.
Can I ask a question?
But I ask you a question.
Why aren't we hearing Accra Ghana artists or Accra artists struggling to break into Kumasi market?
That is why they are doing the collaborations with an Ashanti artist, so that the Ashanti artists will. What are you saying?
Who is doing a collaboration with Ashanti?
Well, YP did a song with Kofi Jamal.
But no, you guys, if you just get one artist doing it, then you say they are.
You want to have 1,000 before you can make.
But you said
out of the 1,000 Ghanaian artists.
If I did one,
how many people are struggling to do it with Floating Stone now because they want to break into Kumasi market? And clearly, yes.
But what is the leverage of Floating Stone as we speak? That's another conversation.
So
people are looking for. People.
So why am I not hearing Kinata and Asaka? Why am I not hearing this thing in Asaka?
Does he want to go there? Do you think he doesn't have a fan base that he's comfortable with already there? You see, he's singing a language that he thinks will cut across. If you had asked me why are we not hearing maybe a Kenata and maybe say a typical Chief One, then that's another conversation to look at. Can then Chief One or Kenata will say how many people can sing fancy in Volta region? Am I looking to get them already singing my song? What am I benefiting? I say the thing. If you ask me, I don't doubt that there's tribal something, but anybody deciding to join anybody to do a collaboration is not thinking tribal. They are thinking about their numbers. They are thinking about the reach of the people. They are thinking about the impact. Who will come for my show? Where are they? And if we look at the dynamics again, the Akans are ruling everywhere. Their language is first. They have the numbers. They will show up for the shows. So let me use the Akans to let me use my Eve and join an Akan artist, penetrate his markets, get even 5% of his markets, loving me.
Penetrate.
I think if you ask me. So it's not a deliberate thing, except we want to make a deliberate effort now to say, oh, there must be a conversation with maybe Jay's an Igbe boy, so I have to deliberately as a Northerner feature him so that we have some synergy. But somebody has to sponsor that, because I won't use my money if it's not going to generate some income for me.
Is it also because...
Listen, I get her point. She's saying that they use the language collaborations to lubricate the situation so that they can penetrate
what kind of language are you speaking?
I wanted to ask.
The language lubricates
I wanted to ask, maybe it might shake the table a bit.
For what?
Do you
for
think,
them to penetrate the market?
Oh, please,
I want to ask, maybe it might shake the table a bit and it might sound a bit...
No, let me see.
But
the table is firm. Go for it.
But do you think it's because our music industry has been spearheaded by Akan-speaking musicians?
It's also part.
Do you think it's because that's like the poster
part.
child? Like,
look,
I can't from Reggie Rockstone to Lord Kenyan to Bradford.
It is a big
Our biggest
factor.
artist was in the UK, and he said that he was inspired by Bradford, who was
Tiny Fort Edem. Tiny Fort Hammer.
Because you see, even with that story,
so could it be that that's been the poster, language?
Yes,
it
for our
is.
music industry. So
what's your first local language in this country?
And that's the reason.
That's debatable, though.
It's not.
That's debatable because
go everywhere.
Because someone will say,
I've seen Evans who even get angry that even when you are out of this country and you meet someone say, are you from Ghana? Yes. Hey, Otichi. And now they start speaking street. They don't even ask. I've seen Evans rant on social media saying that, why do we make Akan like it's the supreme language? I've seen people complain about that. But there's nothing that can be done.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
I think
the Dagbani.
The Dagbani thing.
Yeah. So it says, Fancy Ghana and Makasi don't sing in Hausa, they sing in Dagbani. Thank you.
Thank you for the dedication.
Gomta, thank you so much.
Even we, when we are communicating.
The way you are.
Even when we decide to communicate, if we are not speaking Chi, if we are not speaking English, what are we speaking?
Oh, Chi.
So...
Or is it because maybe Chi is more easy
to understand? Let me throw a spanner in the way.
What is that? When people come to your country, when they enter Ketuka, what is there?
Hello.
Finish.
You know the song, the song Yenara Assassini?
Yeah.
It was originally written
in Chi.
No.
It
was originally written in Ewe, submitted in Ewe by Philip Beho, and he was asked to change it to Chi. So when I tell you that we are tribalistic from day one, and it's the consumer that is the tribalistic force. Please understand.
Listen, bro,
we needed a song. We needed a song for the nation.
Yeah.
Hear me well, bro. Let's start from the beginning. Before we had all these artists you mentioned.
Yeah.
Let me show you how deeply seated.
At least we sang Come on Ghana, Black Stars.
Let me show you how deeply seated this appropriation of tribal status or whatever is, lack of a better phrase, because I'm really not trying to offend anybody, but this is a history lesson, and do with it what you want, right? When the song was needed for the nation, and the great composer, writer Philip Beho wrote the song and said, this is the language that expresses what I want to say about Ghana.
That's what I was but you go ahead.
Are you sure?
Sorry, what did I say?
You said Ephraim.
That misled me.
Hey.
Ephraim, let's go on.
Is it Ephraim?
No.
Or is it Ephraim?
No, it's Ephraim.
Oh, okay, we are sorry.
I didn't even realize. No, it's fine.
Look, I also said
the song was written. I was lied to. It doesn't change the fact of the issue.
Ephraim Amu is very
It doesn't change.
It's very Akan.
So
Ephraim Amu is Akan?
No, he's an Ewe, right?
Yeah, I thought he comes from Peki area.
Yeah, but he also has an Akan lineage.
Sweetie, hold your breath.
He's also an
artist, too. Bear in mind,
bro.
That's
not the point.
We don't misinform people.
That's not the point. Forget about the name. Even if it was Mike Tyson who wrote the song, it doesn't matter. The issue here, the original song is that the song was written in language A, and even at that political, governmental, social level, it was asked to be changed into language B. Case closed. That's all I want to say.
But we don't know why it was asked to change the language.
Why must have it been asked? If there was not a difference, if we have so many languages in Ghana, then any language should be good for Ghanaians, right? Okay. I don't have a problem with anybody's language. I speak every language, right? But I'm just asking a question: that if it takes 10 languages to come up to make Ghana. Ghana consists of 10 languages. Then any language that's out of Ghana, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, okay.
You understand?
You know what I think?
There are other factors.
Just like in Nigeria, right? There are so many languages there, right? But the easy go language is their pidgin. I want to believe so, right? It's their pidgin because it's the easiest to say or easiest to communicate in, right? I feel that's the same way with Tree here in Ghana. I feel like that's like the universal language for any Ghanaian at all. Because see, yesterday I saw an interview with Stonebwoy.
Hey, let me cut you. I was right. Philip Beho wrote the song, the original song. And if Mamo was tasked to change it, you come for me.
Anyways, so there was an interview with Stonebwoy in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
And as part of the conversations, he was speaking patois, impeccable patois, right? And the Jamaican interviewer asked Stonebwoy to teach him something, something to say in a Ghanaian language. And the first thing he said was "etiseng." I don't even understand what I'm saying. He didn't think of even teaching him how to speak F1. So I think it's an engineering where it is an easy way in, easy way out.
Hey.
It's an easy way in, it's an easy way out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is the most spoken about, or that's the most used language in the country.
True.
At the end of the day also, does it put Ghana out there? Yes, it does. So if people want to come in as a result of these languages or this particular language, and they want to explore other languages, then bravo. I think that Akan or Tree has got one of the best PR machines.
Has this been fair? Two questions I want to ask you. Has this been fair to artists? This point you've made, has it been fair then to artists who can't speak Tree? I didn't even say who are Tree or not.
Well, right now, even artists are trying to...
No, it hasn't been fair then.
It hasn't been fair.
Then
obviously.
Secondly, is this going to, if we continue on this tangent, like I was saying, then that's what we're creating behind us.
Yeah.
Is this going to eventually come up to affect us? Because now the effect I'm seeing of this is why an artist who speaks impeccable Tree, raps or sings in Tree, does not want to go out of his space to engage with an artist who churns out consistent other vernacular language. And the reason why we are here, you hardly would hear a top ever artist doing a song with a top Ghana artist or a top northern artist. Even if they have recorded it, they haven't released it.
Jay, I would approach this answer just like the way I approach tapping into genres, right? When Amapiano became a thing, we saw some of our artists trying to tap into that genre because it was the genre in vogue. I think that if you are an A-list artist in Ghana and you are known to be a Tree-speaking A-list artist, altogether putting the narrative and the agenda of putting Ghana first and promoting Ghana, I think that it's only nice, and I can't find a better description, but it's only nice to spread your tentacles in tapping into these other regions that have indigenous languages as part of promoting Ghana to the world. So when someone listens to your album, you have a representation from each of these regions, from the north, from the Volta region, even from Takrady, you can name it whatsoever. I think that is what Ochame Kwame did with his album.
That album.
Made in Ghana.
Made in Ghana. Do you get it? If our hottest artists, I don't want to mention names, tried a project like that, maybe we may start helping or solving that problem little by little. But it's like when these A-list artists get to the top, they forget that part of the conversation because then they are thinking about their bread, they are thinking about their music reach. These days, it's not even about the world to Ghana. It is always Ghana to the world, Ghana to the world. So
Tree to the world.
Tree to the world. So I think, and because this is a solution-driven conversation, I think that A-list artists could start by doing projects like that of Ochame Kwame's made in Ghana. That way, small, people will get to know an artist in the Volta region who has an Kamido is just 1% of vocal excellence from the Volta region. I have had I have had opportunity to listen to some alternative artists in the Volta region.
Very true.
And there's this guy, I keep mentioning his name, it's Tokes. When you hear Tokes, yeah, it's like Burna Boy singing in Ever. And he hasn't gotten that kind of support.
Can you imagine that artist coming to Accra and saying his name is Stokes? You know what that means?
Yeah, I mean...
You see, that's another problem.
You get me? So if...
I didn't even come to names.
You get me? So there's this guy called Tokes in the Volta region. Fantastic guy. Like, if you listen to... also Chief One, I think he has a little bit of publicity.
Okay.
But an artist like Tokes, right? You listen to his record, you listen to his sound. If an artist like that does a record with maybe Shatawale, or even a Stoneboy, or even a Sarkodie, that kind of mileage, it's not even just about tapping into the Volta region. It's bringing the world's attention because you already have the opportunity to be out there.
We didn't even get to talk about, about Ego as well, and how Ego has played in the collaboration issue. But if we're able to extend the conversation to another day, we'll touch on that. Let me read this long message from Prices as well, who's she's also doing the watching now. Even though I don't side with her points, let me just still read it out. I agree 100% with Serial that tribalism is in everything we do in Ghana. It says especially in politics and music, even though it shouldn't be so. If we are to talk about tribalism in Ghanaian music, the favor will always be with one tribe because of the language, like what Ms. G said. But in recent times, collaborations are not just done anyhow, but based on pure strategy. And that's why the tribalism game doesn't stand like the past. Nowadays, artists are looking to enhance their career, explore new fan base, the opportunities to learn and create, collaborate with like-minded creatives with different skills and experience. It's business, a numbers game, how the acceptance and reception is going to be like, simple. And that's what she says. Parts I agree, most parts I disagree. So I'm sure you are also from another tribe that I don't want to.
If you engage an artist in the north, is it not mileage? Is it not numbers?
Isn't it mileage? Do you know how Hausa is big in Africa? Exactly my point. Hausa is so huge that if you add yourself...
Jay, the issue is we are looking to get mileage beyond the shores of Ghana. But they don't know that there's power in your community here. Regardless of, you can be an A-list artist and have your song. There are some songs in Ghana and on the south side that are not even getting airplay in the north. That's the truth.
Davido is singing Tree for us. Have we had any Ghanaian artists, Tree artists sing ever?
You get what I'm saying?
Try singing.
Let's start by
only
getting
trig.
the mileage.
It's only trig.
It's
only trigmatic.
Let's
trig.
Let's start by getting the mileage within our regions. Then we can now start thinking about even our West African region. And last time I said this, that we are too quick to want to go to the O2, want to go to these places to do concerts. No, finish here. Then the next thing, you go to Togo, go to Cote d'Ivoire, your neighboring countries. That is what the VIPs and the likes used to do.
I've never heard a Ghanaian
up to now in that region. Up to now, in that
what language is spoken in Burkina Faso?
Isn't it French?
Yeah,
it's French, right?
And they speak a bit of Chi too.
A bit of Chi.
Oh no, Burkina Faso. I was thinking Ivory Coast.
Yeah, they speak.
I think
I have something here.
So why don't we start here?
So we haven't even conquered our neighboring countries.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
There's something here, right?
Yeah.
From D Dan Mad. It's a big issue that you guys D Dan Mad.
Mad. Okay.
It's a big issue you guys are discussing. If you go to Wa and Bolga, they play Dagbani songs, but you hardly hear this region songs being played in Tamale. Just as you hear southern songs being played in the north, but you hardly hear northern songs being played in the southern media.
Oh, you what?
Again,
so we are not mad.
No, but also,
what did Matt say?
The cry is that
I didn't catch that.
Okay.
He said it's a big issue we are discussing because if you go to Wa and Bolga, they play Dagbani songs because Dagbani is regularly there. But when you hardly hear these regions, those same Wa and Bolga playing those same songs played in Tamale, where it's more of a mix. It's more tree, Hausa, blah blah blah. Just as you hear southern songs being played in the north, but you hardly hear northern songs being played in the south. So you could have a song up north that's popping. Right? A song can be popping up north, people are jamming for it, but based on the language, we just assume that people down here will not jam. So
truly, music never cuts across borders.
Yeah, yes, somebody just corrected
regions,
us.
Not borders.
Your Gomda has come to correct us again.
Is it what?
Gomda says that Fancy Gadam actually has a song with Edem.
Is it out?
I asked.
He gave us a link to Apple Music, so he knows that it's out. He put a music, Apple Music.
Let me correct you. I agree with you, but let me correct you. There's a difference between music that has been recorded that's not out, and there's another difference between music that has been recorded that's out that wasn't promoted. You understand?
So when you ask, is it out?
We can collaborate, but I will never tell anybody that we did.
That's another problem.
You will take a picture with me and you send it to me to put it out there to acknowledge that we took a photo.
That's
and I'll
another
never
problem.
put it out. Who's got the mileage? Maybe me or you.
That's another
and
problem.
we never shared. So it's a big issue. The collaboration can go but the support mechanism just stops at a point. The tools available doesn't help.
Yeah, another thing that I want to quickly add. Maybe time will not. Maybe tomorrow we'll continue, but. We also didn't talk about ourselves as in the media, because what Matt just talked about.
I'm not collaborating with you.
No, but it's an ecosystem. So the collaboration there, like what he
Please
says.
Say it. I want to say something today about what's happening in the studio.
Please,
Listen, the Evers in the studio.
Allow him.
When they meet every morning, they are speaking.
I
They
think
don't want
from
us
where?
to understand.
On
what
that
they are
note,
saying.
I
shared a video, 9 music, not 3. I shared a video of Camido when he came in here. When he entered, Miss G and Cyril, they were saying some things be among
Aren't you
themselves.
ashamed of
Guys,
yourself?
you know their plan. Their plan was that they said they want to sack us from the studio, so they will do it.
Yeah, hold on, quickly. Someone says, I'm really enjoying your program, the topic today, but I just want to ask, did Hammer ask Tiny to change his rapping language from Twi to Ga? Because there were a lot of guys at the time rapping in Twi. I wasn't there. Maybe
it was different.
Ancestor.
Hammer felt Tiny was better on Ga.
And which he didn't get wrong, actually.
Yes. Well, anyway, our time.
We'll come again tomorrow.
You see.
Yeah, I think there are different dynamics to it. I think we should have a continuation of this conversation. Now that we have done the tribal part,
I think we should have an artist.
We should go other. Yeah, well, maybe we could still try Adam coming in
maybe
tomorrow.
Adam can,
yes,
and
because they are like
the other part.
They will speak Miss G and it's you.
Me go back home again.
That's it. Bye.
Je suis folie. Cyril, Miss G, Le Salvador.
Ghana, let's do better.
Aujourd'hui.